Hello, I'm Georgie. Welcome to my channel. I'm so happy to have you here. Today we're going to be doing the women's set. So the women's set is a Kundalini KRIYA that, despite being called the women's set, is actually suitable for everybody. One of the reasons it's called the women's set is because it's great for releasing tension that we hold in our ovaries. However, this is fantastic for all over spinal health. It's great for balancing the and strengthening the nervous system. It gives us an opportunity to put some pressure on our organs just to help activate them and awaken them. And yeah, it's just going to leave you feeling absolutely great. You're not going to need a block or anything. You're just going to need your mat, maybe a blanket for deep relaxation at the end, possibly a drink of water. Okay, see you in just a moment. Beginning in a comfortable seated position, we're going to sweep the arms up to the sky, reaching our hands in prayer before bringing them to the heart. And each time we do this, we're going to imagine ourselves collecting all of the prana and bringing it to our heart, connecting us to the universe. Last time, inhale, sweeping the arms up, hands to prayer, prayer to heart. Now that we're here, we're going to take a moment to chant the Adi mantra, Om Namo Gurudev Namo 3 times. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Taking a moment to just sit in connection to our higher self, to our intuition, to our personal guru within. Posture, we're going to come to a rock pose, so coming onto our knees, trying to keep the feet and the heels together if possible, before resting our sit bones on top of the heels, bringing the top of the hands to rest on top of the thighs, palms facing up. And we're going to take long, deep breaths here. While we meditate in this posture, become aware of the feeling of your shins pressing against the ground, the tops of your feet, the feeling of your hands resting on top of your thighs, your chest rising and falling. Rock pose is really beneficial for helping to eliminate toxins from the body, for working our elimination, for relaxing the lower body, stimulating our digestion, clearing and opening the mind. I'm going to come into life nerve stretch or a seated forward fold. Flexing the feet, lifting the arms up, and as you exhale, fold forward. If possible, grabbing hold of the big toes and pinching the toenail with the thumbs. If this isn't accessible for you, then just place the hands on the calves or behind the knees. The focus here is to try to get your belly to the tops of the thighs, not the head to the knees. Flexing the feet is going to help protect the hamstring. Life nerve stretch is called life nerve stretch because it's working our sciatic nerve, the longest nerve in the body, running from the low back down the legs. So not only are we stretching and helping our legs be flexible and supple, we're also stimulating the muscles in the low spine, the pelvis, the upper back, the kidneys and the adrenal glands. So as you take a deep breath, focus on lengthening through the spine and exhaling into that fold. gently lowering the belly to the thighs, finding the edge of what's comfortable, but not venturing into pain. Take a deep breath here, lifting up, and exhale, one last forward fold. Coming back onto our knees for our next posture, we're going to take camel pose. Feel free to take full camel if that is in your range of practice. However, if you're new to camel pose or have any issues with the low back, please place the hands on the small of the back, rolling the shoulders down, opening the heart. And as you exhale, bring the head back and lift the heart up towards the ceiling. Feel free to tuck the toes for a little bit more stability, and just breathe here, long, slow, deep breaths. Again, exploring and playing with the edge of how far you can go between what feels comfortable, what feels challenging, and what feels painful. Remembering to stay within your limitations, but on the edge. Expanding the abdomen, supporting our digestion, opening the chest, improving our breathing, stretching and strengthening the shoulders and the back, helping us to release tension. Inhale, coming up, and exhale, folding over into a child's pose, just to counteract that deep back bend, that deep curve. Our back for shoulder stand, supporting the low back with the hands, elbows pressing down into the ground, making sure the neck is nice and long. And as we breathe deeply, know that we're going to be supporting our thyroid and parathyroid as we nourish them with fresh blood in this inversion. We're helping support our digestion, and we're cooling and calming the nervous system, continuing to stretch the shoulders and the neck, removing the tension that lies there. Helping to reduce fluid retention in the legs, regulating our elimination. Breathe deeply. Inhale, bring the legs towards the head, and exhale, slowly lowering yourself down to the ground, coming into a short Savasana, corpse pose. Nourishing in the after effects. Coming back to our feet, we're going to take archer pose. Similar to warrior 1 and warrior 2, we're going to place the right foot in front, left foot behind, right toes facing forward, back foot at about a 45-degree angle to the mat. Bringing the arms above in front of you, placing them in fists with the thumbs pointing up. Draw the left arm back as if you're drawing a bow. Breathing slow and deeply, working our third chakra, our willpower, our inner fire, our determination. This can be a challenging posture. Keeping the arms up, gazing over and past the thumb into infinity. Pressing down into the ground, connecting to the earth. Allowing the heart to open with that drawn back arm. Taking that pose to the opposite side, left leg forward, right leg back, left toes facing front, right foot a 45-degree angle, bring the hands and fists, thumbs facing up, right arm pulled back, opening the heart center, engaging the navel to work our third chakra, seat of our inner fire, our inner determination, our willpower. Gazing into infinity beyond the left thumb, whilst grounding ourselves firmly through the feet. Making our way back to the ground, we're going to come to child's pose, resting the head on the floor. If this feels uncomfortable, feel free to place a block or some cushions underneath the forehead. This will help support the low back. Bringing the arms alongside the body. Posture is fantastic for helping to relieve tension in the pelvis while stimulating that digestive system, increasing blood flow to our head and neck, lengthening and opening the spine and the hips. Breathe deeply. When you're ready on your next inhale, bring yourself back up into rock pose. Extending yourself out on your front. Bring your heels towards your buttocks, reaching back to grab hold of them. If this is achievable for you, press the feet into the hands. This should bring the knees and the chest off the floor into bow pose. Challenging posture. Continue to stimulate our digestion, improving the hip flexors, improving our posture, strengthening our spine, opening the heart. If at any point it feels too intense, just come out of the posture and then come back to it if you're feeling able. Breathing deeply, taking what you need. Take a deep breath in as you come to the fullest extent of the posture. And at exhale, release yourself down to the ground. Wiggling the hips from side to side just to release any pressure, any tension. Before placing the hands into fists and wiggling them underneath the hips so they're resting in that joint between your pelvis and your hips. I'm going to take a locust pose here, so bringing the heels together, inhale as we lift the feet off and as much of the knees and the thighs off the ground as we can. Another challenging posture, but this one we're going to be strengthening the reproductive system, strengthening the uterus, helping with menstrual problems, strengthening our hip bones. If you need to, drop the legs to the floor and just do one leg at a time. We want to strengthen our back muscles, not risk injury. Make sure you're breathing long and deep. If you're struggling to breathe long and deep, it means you're maybe working too hard in the posture, and just release it a little bit so that you can continue and connect with that breath. Inhale deeply, exhale, relax, wiggling the hips before coming into another child's pose. Coming onto our hands and knees, we're going to take cow pose here. So we're going to lift the tailbone up to the sky. We're going to draw the shoulders down and back and allow the belly to sink down to the ground, creating a curve in the spine. Breathing deeply, allowing our parasympathetic nervous to activate, helping to counter stress and anxiety. Stretching and strengthening our backs, our abdominals, shoulders, wrists, our hips. Deep breaths. Bringing your awareness to how this feels. And as we arch our back into cat pose, bring your awareness to any change in sensation from cat to cow. Continuing the deep breaths. And as we continue to hold this pose, your mind may wander, as it may have wandered throughout this practice and may continue to do so, and that's fine, that's completely normal. Just bring your awareness back to the deep breaths in and out of the body. Sensations within the body, the feeling of the hands making contact with the mat, your knees and your feet. Helping to increase the circulation of spinal fluid, mobility in the spine, stretching the back and the neck. before coming back to our knees in rock pose. Coming into our last posture, stretch pose, placing the hands underneath the low back to help tilt the pelvis, allowing your low back to press into the ground. And then when you're ready, you're going to lift the feet and the shoulders off the ground. And we're going to do breath of fire here. So that's a short, sharp exhale through the nose and a pumping of the navel. If, however, you are on the first few days of your moon cycle or pregnant, you may wish to avoid this breathing and just focus on those long, deep breathings that we've been doing so far. This is a challenging posture, so you may want to drop one leg, working one leg at a time. Posture helps to strengthen our abdominal area, our third chakra, that navel point. It's also helping to reset our entire nervous system, rejuvenating and purifying the blood through this rapid breathing. It is challenging. Keep going. Inhale, exhale, release. Coming at last to Savasana. Allowing the feet to roll out to the sides, palms facing up. Allow your breathing to return to normal. As you take a deep breath, feel the belly rise, and as you exhale, allow it to deflate completely. On your next inhale, bring your awareness to your toes, your ankles, the soles of your feet. And as you exhale, allow them to release. Inhale, bringing your awareness now to your shins, your calves, your knees and thighs. And as you exhale, allow them to release. Inhale, bringing the awareness to the hips, the low back, the muscles on the chest. And as you exhale, allow them to release.